Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. If you like tech and helpful tips, don't forget to subscribe. Let's get started.
Making sprouted grain bread in a bread maker is absolutely possible, but it requires a bit more nuance and understanding than your typical white or whole wheat loaf, given the unique properties of sprouted grains. The primary appeal of sprouted grains lies in their enhanced nutritional profile and improved digestibility. The sprouting process breaks down starches and enzyme inhibitors, making nutrients more bioavailable. However, these very changes introduce challenges when baking, especially in the controlled environment of a bread maker. Sprouted grain flours tend to absorb liquid differently and can have a weaker gluten structure compared to unsprouted flours, because the sprouting process can begin to break down proteins, including gluten. This means you can't simply swap sprouted grain flour for regular flour cup for cup in a standard bread maker recipe and expect perfect results. The key adjustments begin with liquid content. Sprouted flours often require less water, so it's best to start with about 10 to 15% less liquid than a conventional recipe and add more incrementally if the dough appears too dry during the kneading cycle. Observing the dough ball during the initial mixing is crucial. It should be soft and slightly tacky, but not overly sticky. To compensate for the potentially weaker gluten development, incorporating vital wheat gluten, typically 1 to 2 tablespoons per loaf, can significantly improve the structure, rise, and texture of your sprouted grain bread, preventing a dense, brick-like outcome. Many bread makers have a whole wheat or dough cycle, which is generally more suitable for sprouted grain bread than a standard white bread cycle, as these settings often feature longer kneading and proofing times designed for heavier flours. However, even with these settings, you might find the proofing time needs slight adjustment. Sprouted grain dough can sometimes rise faster or slower depending on the specific flour and ambient conditions. If you're using whole sprouted grains that you've processed yourself, ensure they are thoroughly drained and perhaps even lightly pulsed in a food processor before adding them to the bread maker to avoid excessive moisture and uneven distribution. Keep in mind that the final texture of sprouted grain bread will naturally be denser and heartier than traditional white bread, a characteristic many find desirable. Experimentation is your best friend here. Don't be discouraged if your first attempt isn't perfect. Note down your adjustments and refine them. Always ensure your ingredients are at room temperature for optimal yeast activity. For the best results, look for recipes specifically formulated for sprouted grain flour in a bread maker, as these will have already accounted for many of these variables. With a little patience and a few careful modifications, your bread maker can indeed produce delicious, nutritious sprouted grain bread. Thank you for watching, and please remember to subscribe for more baking tips and tricks.